them. Haya, makofi tafadhali, tunakaribisha mheshimiwa. Karibu sana bwana. Spirit of intergenerational dialogue to have conversations with younger of
new innovations in order to be able to attract jobs and of Kenyans who are going to benefit from this particular venture. This was during the transition period when we were still under the directorate. This takes me back to now when I served. I was told by my colleagues that my clinic
We've been able, Your Excellency, to hold more than 20 diaspora engagements where we have spoken with diaspora in various cities. We've been able to evacuate thousands of Kenyans, either from Lebanon, from Sudan, from Israel, from Gaza, but even to do medical evacuations, Your Excellency, from near and far places like Tanzania or Albania. We have been able to do repatriation of our kin who have lost loved ones and their bodies have had to be repatriated back home. Excellency, we have been able to create an incentive framework that has allowed for diaspora remittances to grow in the last 2 years up to a point of 672 billion shillings in the last year, and we expect those numbers to go up higher. The confidence of the diaspora is at an all-time high in terms of being able to access government services, and we've been able to serve them in a consistent and a dignified manner. We want to hear from you, Your Excellency, your reflection on the work that we have done over the last 2 years, and perhaps you could guide us on what it is that you hope we're going to achieve in the next 2.
Yesterday's paper, there was a very good story with the PS Treasury making a comment and saying that if they were to renovate or put the extension of the new Jomo Kenyatta Airport, they would need close to 260 billion Kenya shillings for a new terminal and perhaps the runways that would be required. That is, give or take, 300 billion Kenya shillings. Ladies and gentlemen, if we package an infrastructure bond, an infrastructure diaspora bond properly, well backed, you tell me, the infrastructure bond can raise not the 300 billion required. Initial figures now show us that if we do it well, we have the capacity to raise over 500 billion shillings through an infrastructure bond. That means the diaspora can build that new airport. It is possible. Through the bond, we can fund the road towards Uganda. It's an artery for Kenyans. and indeed the countries that are landlocked, who are also our largest trading partners: Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, DRC, South Sudan. Through this bond, we can do something very different. You can extend the SGR. You can do something about our medical programs. The list is endless. So we have potential. The week that we are having around the diplomacy is so important so that we answer some basic questions. Why does the President of Kenya travel? Because the Gen Z were asking this question. We have to answer it. We have to establish opportunities in Kenya. We have to establish opportunities abroad. We have to allow your talent to go beyond the boundaries of our country. We want to become a strong economy. And that can only be done by us working with the global community. If Kenya was to be an introvert state, a state that just looks inward and does not look beyond, you can imagine what we would be. Hata wewe kwa familia yako, kwa jamii yako, ukifikiri kwamba mwanzo na mwisho unakuishia kwa nyumba yako, utakuwa na shida. Ni lazima tujue kwamba Kenya ni pana, ulimwengu ni pana, na kujijenga ni kuhakikisha tuna marafiki kule nje. Ndio jamii zetu, watoto wetu wa Kenya, wa tabaka mbalimbali na talanta mbalimbali wapate nafasi ya kujimudu na kujijenga kwa sehemu mbalimbali ya mataifa yetu. Kwa hivyo tusimame pamoja tukijua kwamba lengo letu ni kutafuta manufaa kwa Wakenya. We are also working on a diaspora bond with technical support from the World Bank's Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, MIGA. This instrument will offer Kenyans abroad a secure investment while diversifying the source of financing for government projects, while providing a competitive return on investment. The bond will help Kenya to systematically move away from costly foreign loans to support its infrastructure and other capital development projects. We can no longer take it for granted. Kenya's shilling is holding out very well against other currencies, and if I peg it to the dollar, it's at around 129. We had seen a slide of the Kenyan shilling to 169 to the dollar. Now it is firmly holding out very well at 129 to the dollar. Take a moment and ponder. Suppose the diaspora decided that they are shutting the doors. What would be the likely impact on the strength or competitiveness of the Kenya shilling against the other currencies? So let's reflect very, very seriously on what we are talking about. Further, we are implementing the global labor market strategy to secure quality placements for Kenyans abroad. We are deliberate about engaging countries through bilateral labor agreements and MOUs to expand opportunities that will help empower people, particularly the youth. As we do this, we undertake to enhance our capacity to offer timely and effective consular services, ensuring that the rights of every Kenyan outside our borders is protected. I can confirm our readiness to do exactly this. The State Department for Diaspora and Affairs has officers on call 24/7 to address the Kenyan diaspora issues and concerns. And we have listened to some of them a few minutes ago. I encourage you to use this platform for networking, information sharing, and providing feedback. Take advantage of this opportunity to forge partnerships that extend beyond borders and foster collaboration for propelling our collective vision forward. Let us put our minds together and agree on how to further leverage the skills, expertise, and networks for our diaspora in the broader narrative of Kenya's development. Our focus on the diaspora is informed by their growing contribution to Kenya's socio-economic development, mainly through remittances, investment, and knowledge transfer. In the first 10 months of this year, remittances increased to a record $4 billion USD, that is over 520 billion Kenya shillings. We are anxiously looking forward to the figures as at the end of December. This is a remarkable increase of 17.8% over the remittances of 3.6 billion received during the same period in 2023. This cements the position of remittances as Kenya's largest foreign exchange earner, delivering more than the combined earnings from coffee, tea, horticulture, and tourism. It also sets us on the pathway to growing remittances to 1 trillion Kenya shillings by 2027. We appreciate the sacrifices that these Kenyans abroad make to dutifully send money home, directly impacting education, healthcare, small business enterprises, housing, gender equality, rural development, and poverty alleviation. We can enhance this contribution, particularly if we reduce the cost of remitting money from an average of 6% to the Sustainable Development Target of 3%. I wish to assure you that the government will work with all stakeholders to align with the SDG's universal value of leaving no one behind. This gathering gives us an opportunity to recognize and celebrate and also appreciate the role of our Kenyans working, studying, and living abroad in shaping our diplomacy. They carry our flag high as brand ambassadors for our culture, heritage, tourism, sports, trade, investments, and human capital in their host countries. The Ministry, through the State Department of Diaspora Affairs, has organized this forum to hear from the diaspora and other critical stakeholders on how we can make our engagement even more beneficial, enriching, and focused on the socio-economic development of our country. This platform will enable us to have constructive discussions with the Kenyan diaspora on what more we can do together, areas of key focus, and strategies to employ to harness the opportunities available abroad.